Hey everybody, we are in the book of First Corinthians, and I am just loving a lot of what Paul is saying right now because it's so validating, and I hope that you'll get something out of it too. We are starting in verse 19. For though I am free from all, I have made myself a servant to all, that I might win more of them. He goes on to say, to the Jews, I became a Jew that I might win Jews. To those under the law, I became under the law, though not myself being under the law, but acted in a way that was representing people like following the law. You know, he wasn't a slave to the law anymore because of freedom in Christ, but he was putting on that restriction so that he might ease and reach the consciences of people who were still under the slavery of the law. And he says, to those who are weak, I made myself weak. To those who are outside the law, I was outside the law. That ultimately, I do all this for the sake of the gospel. I have become all things to all people by these means, that I might save some. I do it all for the sake of the gospel, that I might share with them in its blessings. And just this reminder that ultimately every suffering you endure and every challenge the Lord gives you and every way that he stretches and grows you is so you can reach more people, is so that you can understand the perspective and the lifestyles and the cultures and the sufferings of more people and reach them with the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I personally relate to that on many deep levels, because I feel as though categorically I've gone through almost everything that can go terribly wrong in your life, and the ways that it has opened up the ability to preach to the homosexual community, to preach to people who have endured childhood traumas, to preach to people who have endured abandonment, people who have endured sexual abuse, people who have endured depression, anxiety, and suicidality. All of these things have given me the strength and the weakness to be able to meet people where they're at. And God gives us that as a gift. He comforts us so that we might comfort others, and that ultimately the goal of all things is to share the gospel and to be bold in our proclamations. So, whatever you're going through, go through it with joy. Go through it willingly, knowing that God is going to strengthen you and empower you to share more of Him with the people around you.